Right now, somewhere, someone is staring at a text that says nothing back, and their chest actually hurts, the same way it would if someone had physically hit them, and ancient humans are the reason why. Think about this. We use the exact same words for both: a broken heart, hurt feelings, being wounded by what someone said. For most of history, people assumed that was just a figure of speech, a poetic way of describing an emotion that had nothing to do with the body at all. It isn't, not even a little. Hold on to this thought because later in this video, I'm going to tell you about a real study where scientists reduced people's emotional pain using an over-the-counter pill you probably have in your bathroom right now. Now stay with me because in 2003, a team led by psychologist Naomi Eisenberger ran an experiment that changed how we understand rejection completely. Volunteers lay in a brain scanner and played a simple video game called Cyberball, tossing a ball back and forth with two other players. Except the other players weren't real people. They were a computer program, and at a certain point, the program simply stopped throwing the ball to the volunteer. No explanation, just silently, deliberately left out. This is not an exaggeration. The brain scans showed a region called the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex light up. And this region wasn't some obscure corner of the brain. It's the exact same region that activates when your body experiences actual physical pain. Being ignored in a make-believe ball game by a computer registered in the brain almost like a physical injury. The researchers even found something else. The more painful a person rated the experience of being excluded, the stronger the activity in that pain-related brain region. This wasn't a vague general discomfort. It scaled precisely with how much it actually hurt. Eisenberger and her colleagues, published in the journal Science, proposed something remarkable: that somewhere in our evolutionary past, the brain's social attachment system borrowed the wiring of the physical pain system, because for ancient humans, being cut off from the group wasn't just uncomfortable, it was a genuine physical threat to survival. Here's why that borrowed wiring made sense for most of human history. A lone human cut off from the tribe had no one to watch their back against predators, no one to share food during a bad season, no one to help defend against a rival group. Exile wasn't a social inconvenience. In many ancient societies and small-scale cultures studied by anthropologists, banishment functioned as a death sentence, just a slower one than being attacked directly. Some researchers who study ostracism, including the psychologist Kipling Williams, who helped design that same cyberball game, have pointed out that ostracism appears as a form of punishment across an enormous range of human societies, separated by oceans and thousands of years, with no contact between them. When completely different cultures independently arrive at the same tool, it's usually because that tool works. This is not an exaggeration. A brain that treats social rejection with the same urgency as a physical wound isn't malfunctioning. It evolved that way on purpose because the humans who felt rejection as genuinely painful were the ones motivated to repair the relationship, rejoin the group, and survive. The ones who didn't feel it as strongly were more likely to wander off alone and not make it. The pain wasn't a bug, it was a leash, pulling you back toward the people who kept you alive. Remember what I asked you to hold on to earlier? Let's finally talk about it. In 2010, a researcher named C. Nathan DeWall ran a follow-up study that sounds almost too strange to be real. If social pain and physical pain genuinely share the same neural circuitry, DeWall reasoned, then a common over-the-counter painkiller should be able to reduce social pain too. He had participants take acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, every day for 3 weeks. This is not an exaggeration. Compared to a placebo group, the people taking the real painkiller reported measurably less hurt feelings over the following weeks. The effect started small on day 1 and grew larger the longer people stayed on it, exactly the pattern you'd expect from a drug slowly quieting an overactive alarm. Brain scans on a separate group doing the same rejection task showed reduced activity in that same dorsal anterior cingulate region. A pill built for a headache was quietly dulling the pain of being left out. Think about how strange that actually is. Nobody designed Tylenol with heartbreak in mind. It works on hurt feelings purely as an accident of how deeply the two pain systems are tangled together in your brain, a side effect of borrowed wiring that's hundreds of thousands of years old. Think about what that actually means. Your brain isn't using a metaphor when it says rejection hurts. It's running the same ancient alarm system that once meant the difference between life and death, and it doesn't know the difference between a spear and a text message left on read. That's why a small thing, an unanswered message, a joke that didn't land, being left off a group chat can genuinely ache in your chest, even when you logically know nothing is actually at stake. Your ancient alarm system doesn't check your logic first. It just sounds the exact same siren it always has. You are not overreacting. You are not too sensitive. You're running hundreds of thousands of years of exactly correct programming in a world that occasionally still needs it and mostly doesn't anymore. And once you know that, the pain doesn't necessarily disappear, but it changes shape. It stops feeling like proof that something is wrong with you and starts feeling like exactly what it actually is: an ancient alarm doing its job, a little too loudly, in a world it was never quite built for. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are just ancient. Comment below. Has rejection ever genuinely hurt more than you expected it to? Like this video if it changed how you think about your own feelings, and subscribe for more of the ancient alarms still running your modern life.